Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Content to Play Villain. In this episode, I'll be discussing the villainous nature of the complex and revered character Light Yagami, an intelligent, thought-provoking character from the manga and anime Death Note. This episode will be broken down into 4 parts. Firstly, who Light Yagami is. 2. The evil things that he did. 3. Why he did those things. And 4. My opinion if the bad things he did were justified. I hope you enjoy this episode and make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get started. We are first introduced to Light Yagami in episode 1 of the anime Death Note and chapter 1 of the manga. We see a young high school student with a haircut similar to pop star Justin Bieber. Light Yagami is 17, top of his class with a father who works in the police. Light stands above average height with light brown hair and brown eyes. When not wearing his school uniform, which consists of a tan brown suit and red tie, he dresses fairly casually, sometimes sporting a dress shirt underneath a jacket or a V-neck sweater with a collared t-shirt underneath. Light is characterized as hardworking, talented, and a natural genius. Highly perceptive and good with problem-solving skills, Light is also a skilled planner and good at mapping out scenarios. Furthermore, Light is very popular amongst his peers, particularly the ladies, and adored by his family members. Light appears to be a normal individual living a normal average life. He appears bored at life, but all that changes when Light Yagami discovers a mysterious notebook on the ground at his school. Written on the cover are the words Death Note. The Death Note's instructions state that if a human's name is written within it, that person shall die. Light is initially skeptical of the notebook's authenticity, but after experimenting with it, Light realizes that the Death Note is real. Through use of the Death Note, Light quickly begins to develop a cold and evil ruthless nature. With the almost unlimited power he has, he decides to kill criminals in prison that he deems not worthy of living anymore as his own act of enacting justice. As Light emerges on the scene, he is dubbed Kira, meaning killer, and being responsible for the deaths of the criminals. Light embraces the label stating, "I'm Kira, and the god of this new world. In this world, I am the law, and I am the one maintaining order. That is the truth. Now, I am justice, the world's only hope." Furthermore, because of Light's acts of murder, this has caught the attention of the world's greatest detective named L. With L on hot pursuit of Light, Light goes to extreme measures to prevent himself from getting caught, which in the eyes of many took his evilness up another level. One example of this is Light killing the detective Ray Pember, who is investing Light as the killer. Light kills Ray Pember, leaving him to die of a heart attack on the train. Ray Pember at the time had a fiancée called Naomi Mizura, which they planned to start a family. At the time of Light killing Ray Pember, Light also kills FBI agents by tricking Ray Pember to write down the names of all FBI agents in Japan by handing over the sheet of paper taken from his Death Note. During this process, Light threatened Ray's family if he didn't comply with his demands. This scene shows how evil and cunning Light was, through the manipulation, control, and the murder of Ray and the FBI agents. It wasn't just about killing criminals anymore, but killing anyone who got in Light's way. Another example of Light's evil is the killing of Ray Pember's future wife Naomi Mizura, who is depressed, sad, and confused as a result of her future husband Ray Pember being killed. After the sudden death of her Ray Pember, which she blames Kira for, Naomi decides to take part in the Kira case herself. Light comes across Naomi, manipulating her to revealing her real name. After she gives her name, Light is able to sentence her to her death by using the Death Note to manipulate her into committing suicide by hanging. In the space of a very short time, Light has eradicated an entire family as they were a threat to him. He shows no remorse killing Naomi, even telling her to her face that he is Kira as he counts down to her death by looking at his watch, smiling evilly as she walks away to her death. Another act of evil Light committed was indirectly causing the death of the world's greatest detective L, using the Shinigami Rim to enact his bidding. At L's funeral, Light waited until the other task force members had left before celebrating his victory. After laughing like a maniac, Light dropped to his hands and knees on Elle's grave to shout hysterically at Elle's freshly buried corpse. Lastly, Light murders Kiyomi Takata after she devoted her entire life to him. Kiyomi Takata was Light's former classmate at university. The pair began dating shortly after Elle's death, and, following graduation, Kiyomi served as Kira's spokeswoman on the NHN station. She also served as Kira for a short time under Light's direct orders. During his investigation, Mello suspected Kiyomi knew Kira's identity and kidnapped her. Kiyomi killed Mello but was subsequently locked in his truck. But after Kiyomi called Light begging for him to save her, he forced Kiyomi to set herself on fire to cover his own tracks. It's common to call Light a killer, but another thing that makes Light evil is that he's a master manipulator, using his high intelligence to control people. By his peers' standards, Light Yagami had many desirable characteristics: superior intelligence, athletic ability, and good looks in the eyes of women. After picking up the Death Note, Light often used women's attraction for him to his own advantage. He often manipulated Misa Amane into performing dangerous tasks by promising to return her love in exchange. Similarly, he faked caring for Kiyomi Takata so that she would become Kira's spokeswoman and ultimately killed her after she'd lost her usefulness. Now, why was Light Yagami content to play villain? In other words, why did Light enact his acts of evil? Light had always mentioned that he had a right to kill people as long as they were criminals. To him, killing criminals was justice and was justified. Amongst those he killed were murderers, attempted assaulters, those who escaped justice from the Japanese legal system, and more. Light, with the power of the Death Note, saw himself as God, and as the chosen one to enact such justice, because out of all the billions of people in the world, the Death Note chose him. Light believed in utmost retribution. If you killed someone you didn't deserve prison time, you deserved death. An eye for an eye. A tooth for a tooth. Match the seriousness of punishment with the seriousness of crime. In Light's view, the seriousness of rape was enough to warrant death. Light believed in deterrence, which is let others know what'll happen to them if they do the same. This is again in line with Light's moral philosophy. Light mentioned in his final speech that global crime went down by 70% and wars have stopped. He accomplishes this very well. He also believed in protection, which is prevent criminals from further damaging society. Now when they're in prison, they can't commit further crimes, but killing them completely eliminates repeat offenders and protects society. Many of criminals arrested are repeat offenders. He also believed in victim compensation. This is to undo the damage done to the victim or their families. Were Light's acts justified? Many would agree with the sentiment of an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. You kill someone, then you deserve to be killed. Some would say that prison time is the appropriate act of justice to murderers. Take away their freedom and let them suffer in a small cell. There is the argument that the families of the people affected would be much happier knowing that the criminal is being punished through death. Light lost his way when he started killing innocent people to cover his tracks, but in his eyes, it was justified. The murder of criminals to make the world a better place was Light's own personal justice. He felt no remorse as he believed that he was doing the right thing, and that's why he was content to play villain despite killing innocent people along the way.